Hello YouTube, Damer_23 here, and welcome back to the Youth Only Challenge with 1860 Munich. In today's episode, I am going to delve into something I am very opinionated about in Football Manager. That is, of course, using tactics that have been tested. I am going to get into that in the actual period of the episode. The main reason is that I need to talk about how we've started the league season. You guys, if you saw the end of episode 36, I haven't seen today, so you know exactly where we sit. If you watch that, I'm going to talk about why that's happened, the things that I think I find broken with FM21 that I think is just a little bit whatever, right? FM21, FM22, there we go, Damien. I'm that frazzled with what's going on. I can't even remember what game we're on. Things that I think are broken with FM22, and the reasons why I'm going down the route that I'm going. It's the first time I can remember where I'm actually going down this route as well since I've started making content on FM18. If you are interested to see what I mean by this, please continue to watch the episode. As always though, and the main reason I am doing this episode and the main reason why I am actually still turning out content for this save is because the support from YouTube and Twitch concurrently has been amazing for the save. I'm getting a lot of guys coming in from onto Twitch saying, I've watched YouTube stuff, keep going up the good work, love watching it. And I keep getting people who watch the Twitch then watch YouTube for the first time and they go, wow, I'm loving this sort of idea of the save. And don't get me wrong, when I do say that, I'm enjoying the save in terms of I'm enjoying making the content for the save. I enjoy the scouting. I enjoy buying the players in. I'm just not enjoying what is going on at the minute here at 1860 Munich. And in my mind, I do not see a way without taking this invasive, big amount of action to see how we can continue to save and make progression. So, without further ado, Damo's going to be right back with the obviously game screen, and let's get into what I think is a topic that I'm passionate about and go in and have a chat. Welcome into the episode, YouTube. There is an episode saying that, episode 37, this is all the parts that are then mold into the episode and cut in. There is one that I talked for 16 minutes about, am I cheating, whatever. I've had something to eat, reflect back, and watch that. I think it's a bit too emotive and aggressive. I want you guys to know a few things before I continue. First thing, I'm very passionate when it comes to Football Manager. I'm very passionate. I put a lot of time into my saves. There's times where I purposely get things done in my day to make sure I have time to go and stream in a very busy day. I work my butt off at work, for instance, and, a job that's meant to take 3-4 days, I did in 2 days to make sure I could come home, have an extra day off to play FM, right? Hence why I'm home today. But look, the reason why I'm deleting that is I thought I gave too much of a bad rap to the guys that create the tactics, and I don't want that to come across, even though I mentioned it a few times. Please don't take this, and I'm going to mention it here in this episode. Do not take this at me hating on the people that use tactic, based or tested tactics, If that's FM Arena, which I predominantly use because I like the creators on it, right? When I mean predominantly use, that's the one that I will look through and look how things are going with my morning coffee. For those that don't know, that's usually my routines. I load up FM and my FM Arena, and I'll just go, okay, who tested tactics today? What's working, what's not? Because I want to talk about why I view this as cheating and why I don't. But I also want to make sure that the guys that do it for FM base, the guys that do it for FM Arena, they're very similar, right, in that regard. The people that you, the viewer, that uses it because you don't have time to create a tactic or whatever, that may necessarily not be, you're doing nothing wrong. I think those guys have an absolutely outstanding footballing mind, especially when it comes to creating content for Football Manager or Football Manager tactics. And you, the viewer, that maybe doesn't have time to create a tactic or doesn't want to put that much effort into creating the tactic, you just want to plug in, play, buy players, etc. There is nothing wrong with you using it at all, right? And I want to put it out there. I have full respect for the people that create it, etc., etc. I want to talk why I think it's cheating, and I will get to that in a second, but I wanted to make sure, please, that is the warning. If you do it, people, my Discord tell me it's not cheating at all. AJ, a long-term viewer of me, tells me, David, it's not cheating. My best friend and other content creator, Paulie, who's always linked down below in my stuff, always says you can load one up and then change a couple roles, and that makes it yours. Even if it's like the fact that I've changed 2 roles here from from what it originally was inside forward to inverted winger because Hernandez must have been inverted winger, and I believe it was roaming playmaker support, but Ami's such a good defensive midfielder that I've changed it to that. When Paulie tries to explain to me, he says that that's you changing the system to make it yours. And I'm like, there's a grey area, and I want to explain that grey area in this episode. I just want to make sure, please do not misquote me. People that use it, people that test tactics, people that submit to testing tactics, it is definitely nothing wrong for, and I think you're still great people. Don't misquote me. However, for me personally, it's cheating. Why? Few reasons. From FM18 to FM21, I did nothing else but create my own tactics. Now, in saying that, there was times where I looked at tactics, like I always look at tactic videos on YouTube, my favourite things to watch, outside of like stuff that I don't watch for Football Manager, obviously. And I love going through, like I said, the FM Arena, FM-based tactics screen, seeing what works, what doesn't, because it gives you a good understanding of what's going on. For me, that's like scouting in real life football. When I go coaching, I'll go watch a side or two to see what they're doing in possession, out of possession, so when I coach against them. And I might see something that I like. I might see how a team plays out, when I go watch a fellow side that I'm coaching against and be like, oh, I'm going to try and train that, add that into my own arsenal so my team plays similarly to that when they're playing out. There's nothing wrong with that, right? And the way I liken that in a Football Manager, you may see tactics you like. So Paulie builds a 3-5-2, 3 at the back system with these wide centre backs, but I play a 4-2-3-1. For instance, right? You may like that. I like that Damie's a shorter passing at extremely high tempo. You like that I look for the, overlaps. And you might say, oh, Paulie looks for the overlaps, but he plays at a lower tempo, slightly lower. He man marks a bit more. And what you do is you might go, oh, I'm going to use Damien's higher tempo with the shorter passing. I'm going to use Paulie's man marking with the, with the 5 at the back system. And what you're doing is you're actually scouting through different videos, and I treat like that for me, my scouting for the FM Arena tactic videos I watch, that you're implementing your own philosophy into the game. That isn't cheating for me personally. And, if you do that, perfectly fine. If you don't do that and you just load in the tactic, perfectly fine. I'm going to keep mentioning that. For me, I view it as if you load up a tactic and straight out use it. Even though I made 2 role changes, that does not mean you've changed the tactic at all, really. It's like changing the word and to like and with the symbol in a what's the word there? Where you write an essay. For me, the example is if you're in uni and you copied and pasted someone else's work, you put in the Turnitin, you fail because you plagiarized. For me, that's how I feel when I load up a tactic. I feel like I'm plagiarizing. I'm taking someone else's hard work that they've gone through, done research, created their own tactic, and then bang, they put it up there on the tactic basis, done really well, and now I've gone on and gone, well, I've put no work in at all. I'm going to copy this tactic to, do well in Football Manager. Nothing wrong with that for people that don't have time to put in tactics, whatever. But me being a coach in real life, someone that from FM18 to FM21 has always either created his own tactic from scratch, right? Or, has gone through and gone, well, I've got this tactic, but I like how this person's doing it in this tactic video, and start implementing and moving things and, morphing tactics, so to say, to create your own philosophy. That's okay. But the moment you just load up a tactic and play it, I think it's broken and cheating. Personally, for me at least anyway. Now, my question to you is that, am I being too harsh on myself? A lot of people in the Discord, AJ in particular, do say I am, that I'm being too harsh on myself. That's not cheating, just, part of the game. People in real life play similar systems in real life, and Paulie mentioned to me, you're the first person to ever play 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. No, so, it's all the same system. It's just what you're telling the players to do. For me, it's like, but yeah, I've seen someone else's work, like what they've done, and just copied it. And reason why I'm back refilming this is I like so much what happened in that St. Pauli game, which is the next part of this episode. You're going to see every goal here and me explain it, is I want to make sure that 2 things. The guy who's created this tactic, I don't have his name. I don't actually have it open because, I've gone to have lunch. I am going to, I'm going to just do it right now live here, right? FM Arena. It's in here area. There we go. By Alot, well done, mate. I don't know how you came up with this idea, but it's fantastic. FM Arena, go to there, and he's the number 1 in terms of, if you go to the tables and you go by the latest patch, which is 1.1, and bang, there you are. Out of 6-star rating, gets a 6-star. There's actually Zaz's narrow system, which with 3 strikers, which looks interesting. He's also got a 6, but I want to be more traditional in, like, I prefer a 4-3-3. When I coach in real life, I play either 4-4-2/4-4-1-1 or 4-3-3, right? So something that, I think that the team is sort of built for here, hence why I'm going with the 4-3 6.0 star rating tactic. Am I being too harsh on myself saying that I'm cheating? Look, the reason why I say it's cheating is when I load that up, do I feel like I'm happy I'm loading that up? No. Do I feel like I'm cheating? Yes. Did I feel absolutely giddy watching what happened in that 4-1 win? Oh my God, I've been asking for my team to play like that during my own building tactics, right? And I liken it to FM21 and 20 where it's different games, I get that, but at Mess, one of the goals we score is our keeper's gone long artists. at Mess, Oglev on a positive or an attacking system used to go, when he took a ball in the air, right, he used to go, bang, Fabio Silva's one-on-one, there's the ball. And it wouldn't be Fabio Silva scoring, he'd be putting it in the channel, Silva would go wide, pick it up, one touch, centre attacking mid, which Santoro run through, and I'd score. For those that watch the Mess save, you know exactly what I mean, right? I've been trying to create that this year in this database with 1860, that possession-based but higher tempo off-we-go system. This system isn't so much possession-based. It actually, on all its tests, it failed in terms of getting to 50% possession, which the board ain't going to like. I don't care. I'm about results, right? Right now, I definitely am. But what it does do is it creates that fast, free-flowing centre mids bombing on. You know, we've used centre mids on attack so much this season. You know, this save, and I've said how broken it is, and this tactic has two of them, which is great. I've just kind of like implemented what I think I've tried to do on previous FMs and what I've seen work and not work, and I haven't been able to get a tactic to work. When I mean I haven't been able to get a tactic to work, it's not for one that's trying. Like, those are all the 1860 ones I've used recently. Look how many tactics. I can probably go and tell you at Mess, at Sunderland, and at SFB, the probably three main tactics we used. Like, we used maybe some tactics in between to like chop and change a little bit, but three main tactics that we build around. I can tell you right now at SFB, it was a 4-4-2/4-2-4. A 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3-1 that won me the Champions League. And the 4-3-3 was actually one that we built with false nines, inverted wing backs that looked really sick, right? And I had so much pleasure in creating that tactic, and it gave me so much success until I changed it to a 4-2-3-1 and we won the Champions League, right? Mess, you know, we played 4-2-4. We had the 4-3 diagonal that people may remember, where we actually had like people diagonally moving across that way up the pitch, which looked weird, with an advanced playmaker on the left-hand side on attack as a left winger, Hadzic. You know, and that gave us a lot of success before I switched into, I think, a standard 4-2-3-1, and we won everything again. And like Sunderland, we went from 4-4-2, which won me the Champions League. We had a 4-3-3, and we had a 4-2-3-1 that I think we morphed into a 4-2-4. That was what we did. But like, yet again, I'm not loading in this many tactics. And I'm going to bring up my last point as to why I've decided to take the plunge, go against something that I think is my own morale. You have morals, sorry, so not morale, my own morals, in terms of FM, where I'm loaded up someone's straight tactic, and I hope I've given Zalot enough credit. I hope that you guys, I'm not going to go for anyone that loads up tactics. I'm not having to go at anyone that, like, you know, loads up tactics and makes one or two changes. I just think that for me, from a coaching background, in terms of our coaching real life, even though I'm having a semi-year off this season, I'm just doing some goalkeeper coaching. Someone that, you know, on FM18 to FM21 has had numerous success. I've only ever been sacked once on FM making content, and that was obviously an international job of Denmark, where I got absolutely FM 3 times, right? Where I've gone through, and it's either I've created my own tactic from scratch, or I've gone in and gone, I like this person's tactic with that person's tactic, that person's tactic. How do I morph that all together and create my own philosophy out of that to get that all to mirror and work well? You know, it might be, you know, and then there's a lot of chopping and changing, player roles, etc., etc. To me, both of those examples of creating your own or doing that is fine, because it's like scouting in real life, implementing your philosophy, or me being a young coach going, I used to have one set way of playing, and then I'm coach on another coach who played it this way, and I was like, oh, that's different, and now I morph into my own coach and take all the best bits that I've learned. For me, that's how it worked on Football Manager. I was just me taking the best bits I learned from everyone's tactic and going, that's my tactic, where it's implementing this, that, and whatever. I mentioned the short corners a lot, SFB short corners. You know, that was because I watched a tactics video that short corners are OP. I liked it, so I put that in there with my, you know, I wasn't using his 4-2-4 tactic, I was still using 4-2-3-1. I was like, yeah, I'm putting in the short corners with that sort of press, etc., all right? I just think, for me, in general, I think it's cheating, but I think it's cheating for me, right? And I don't know if that's me being overly harsh, so please let me know in the comment section down below. I'm very glad that I deleted my other video, because it's very aggressive in my approach to saying that, oh, I think it's cheating because of this, this, and this. I don't want to label anyone else that does this that you're cheating. You may be someone, and you know what, I should probably fall in that category, maybe even Paul should fall in that category, where you work so much, and sometimes you go away for work, or you have days where you're at work 14 hours a day, you don't want to come home and have to sit there and tinker around and build your tactic. You want to go to a website, load it up, have the tactic in there so you can focus more on transfers, scouting, which is my favourite parts of this game, and then seeing good results on the pitch, right? You may be the tactic tester, and you've actually put in a lot of time, and because you put in a lot of time, you know your tactic is very good, you're very happy that people are downloading it and using it. Maybe that's your thing too. I just don't want it to come across that I'm labeling everyone that they're plagiarizing, cheating if they're using someone else's tactic. I don't think It's not an essay at uni, but that for me is how I feel, that I've taken someone else's work and I'm going to take credit for it because it's going to shoot me up the league table by the looks of what happened in that at St. Pauli game. So, without further ado, let me know what you think in the comment section. Am I cheating? Is this wrong? Is it cheating because I should be better at FM than this? Or is it like Damien just being overly harsh on yourself like you always are, just shush and play the game? Now, the best part about this episode is we are going to test the tactic. I just played St. Pauli. It's the main reason why I had to redo this video because I wanted to give Z a lot more credit because this tactic looked amazing. It's exactly what I want from a tactic, maybe a little less possession. Maybe there's something we can work around and create into our own way of using this philosophy, but more possession, which I don't think it works with a very attacking mentality. But, you know, we digress. I just want your understanding of where you sit on this. I firmly sit in the camp of I don't think it's 100% right, but a lot of people sit in and like 90% probably of players just go, yeah, downloading tactics part and parcel of the game. Let me know. It feels a bit ratty, is what I feel. And I don't think anyone else maybe in the world feels that, but that's how it is. Anyhow, last regards is links down below to come follow me live on Twitch. You might be, watching this time it all comes out for 4 days from recording this is about when this will come out. I may still be using the tactic, so if you want to go check it out live, links down below. Follow us live on Twitch. Paulie, who I mentioned in this episode, his links are down below. And I'm going to, if I remember, it's hard to remember sometimes, I'm going to put the link to Zelot's FM Arena link there, so you can go and see how to download it. But if I forget that, please, I did type it in the episode. Go pause it. Go give it a test, because it looked amazing in the St. Pauli game. And in this episode, I'm going to show you St. Pauli, and then we're going to recap St. Pauli, Berlin, Gladbach, Dresden, and Bochum. Main reason is that that's a team in Europe. That's a team that's beaten us a lot of times in the save. St. Pauli were third at the time of playing, but we did beat them. They're now sixth, right? But a team that we have a good history against, and then two teams that we should beat. So what I want to see is us actually just dominate all those games and see how it goes against a very good side. And if it does work really well, maybe we'll go and do Bayern as well to see how it goes against a really strong dog as well, because I think that could warrant a little bit of this episode as well. Anyhow, without further ado, St. Pauli, the first game in this 4-3-3, very attacking tactic, made by Zilot. Yes, I made two changes, inverted winger, NDM, but that's still his tactic. It's not like I've gone in and changed player roles or anything like that. Without further ado, go and check it out. And please tell me what you think of me making this decision. Is it cheating? Is it not? Should I feel icky and dirty about myself? Or is it actually just normal part and parcel FM and I should have maybe looked into doing this sooner to increase the happiness that I have playing Football Manager instead of the stress of consistently getting FM'd and done by set pieces, considering the fact that, we've conceded 5 set pieces in 3 games and the goal I conceded against St. Pauli is another corner. Welcome back, YouTube. I had to come back after the first game. We did play St. Pauli, who are actually 4th on early form, and obviously we beat them because we moved straight up the table. The reason why I wanted to come back is I have, had about a bit of a break, something to eat, something just to reflect on the first part of this episode. I am going to leave it in there because I think it's important so you know the struggles and the amount of passion that is going into this save. I think it was being very, very harsh, and there is definitely, I just want to, really make sure I have nothing against people that do tested tactics, use tested tactics, or the people that create them. I have not an issue at all. And this tactic seemed in game number 1 so outstanding that I had to highlight the goals we were scoring and how it played. It was fantastic. And more importantly, St. Pauli scored a set piece. And yet again, we conceded. But the ball movement, quick one-touch play, football, inside, the centre mid on attack, making that run from the middle of the park. That's something we try to create in our 4-2-3-1s, etc., and we couldn't get it to go. And then you put on very attacking, and the movement seems to be there. There's obviously a bit of a slice of luck, but I guess you get a bit of luck when you're using a tactic like this, maybe. I don't know. It would be nice to get a bit of luck. But then, here, so, they had a set piece, and I'm like, oh, here we go, we're going to concede here. And mercifully, here we are. But because we're on very attacking, the ball gets hit quick. And I'm like, I played at an extremely high tempo. I don't have to click very attacking for my keeper to go, there it is, So, it's nice to know that to get what I want, this very attacking sort of mentality is there. Anyway, great finish by Dino. I've said it before, even before using this tactic. Centre mids on attack, if you watch my streams, I would tell you, are broken. More importantly here, this one's a bit of a 3 against 2, but, that shouldn't be a header that is won and knocked back to there. And, of course, that one's given as a goal. And And then we scored again. As you can see, good build-up play. Kisma in here. And because you got centre mids on attack, Dino's making a run. Hernandez trying to get back stick. And it just gives space for James to just get in at the near stick and attack it. He's been struggling for goals. We also had 2 goals disallowed for offside in this as well. And both very marginal, but both very good goals. I want to show the James own, offside goal. It's more because we're on a very attacking system and our press is super, like next level. So as you can see, they try to build it out. You got people buzzing, people within close vicinity were so high, which is great as well. And it seems like on positive attacking, standard, you name it. When you try to do this, the opposition just get through you. But because we're on very attacking, which is a system that is implemented to really throw caution to the wind to score goals, which, when it was come into the game and the way it's meant to be seen as this tactic that you go to this system when you need a goal late, to get back into a cup game or, to find a very late goal. We've already won the ball and bang. Like, if I just replay that again from where we are, look how high we are, look at the movement. Ami's tied it to his man and then bang, there it is. And unfortunately, Mar gets is fractionally offside or else he scored a 5th, right? I just thought it was worth implementing that because I saw everything in that system that is like beautiful. And why I was like, look, I'm being super duper harsh and maybe I'm being very harsh on myself. And maybe put it in the comments, am I being too harsh on myself, thinking that I should not have any look of idea what's going on here? As my idea of that this plagiarism, cheating, like just whatever. And it's actually something me and Paul are going to talk in our podcast. So links down below, you will actually see the podcast link if you ever want to listen to the sports podcast. But our next sports podcast is actually going to be on Football Manager. So a bit of interesting adaptation there. But it had everything in that 4-1. I've sat there, I've had a little bit of lunch, I'm watching the cricket on the other screen, and bang, there you are. It's a 4-1 win. It had pressing, it had runs from deep, it had higher tempo, quicker ball movement, which I've been trying to do in that the 4-2-3-1 was like originally started on a much shorter passing with extremely high tempo, and then much shorter and higher tempo, which in previous years, SFB noticeably, or Oglev at Mess was so good at it. Pick the ball up, bang, bang, there it is. Fabio Silva for Oglev, like bang, there it is, ball to the channel, he's on, right? And we played positive or attacking, mainly. But in order to create it this season, it seems like very attacking is the way you need to go. Big shout out to who created the tactic. I can't remember his name off the top of his head, but Revelation version 1.0, the FM Arena, it's the top rated tactic. Go check it out. And we will come back at the end of this part to recap Union Berlin, Gladbach, Dresden, Bochum. I will aim to be back on stream for a few of those games as well. But there you go. There's your first little look at it. And oh boy, it's very good. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe this is the way of the future to just, maybe slightly adapt, tactics where needed and that are, doing really well on the tactics screen. Let me know what you think. I think that was a very good watch. And if that's how it performs, we're going to have a very good year. Welcome back, YouTube. And what a turn of results. This tactic is the loot. It's unbelievable, mate. It is unreal. I don't know if he's ever going to see this, but, mate, if you ever do, just wow. I don't know how you thought of it to go very attacking, but, mate, your next level, I absolutely love it. Thought we'll put that out there first. Highly recommend that you go and you give it you flick it on to give it a try at a minimum because it's fun to watch. As you can see here against, after St. Pauli, we beat Union Berlin 3-2 in an absolute crazy game. And then we beat Dortmund, who are a very good side, 3-0 easy. Dresden, we beat. And VfL Bochum, we beat. And the games are all a bit different. So, like St. Pauli, you saw the best of everything. The press, the centre mids bombing on. The Union Berlin game was probably the worst game we played, but we found a way. Like, we got a little bit lucky here. If you look at the goals particularly, we got a bit lucky. Game was very open and even. So the fact that Union Berlin did that to me is not like great, but I guess you can't play at 100% every game. And the fact we found a way to win was ridiculous. And the goals are still very good goals. Like, we're still moving the ball around and doing our business. Ball through, Hernandez, good little finish. Keeper doesn't get there. Thank you very much. And then, we're conceding goals that we're naturally conceding anyway, so there we are. The one thing maybe I will say is that, that's a good finish and maybe the press could get across, and if you're on positive, you're not just maybe hunting the ball as much. But yet again, it's another set piece. So, add that number 6 or 7 already this season we've conceded, set piece-wise. Hernandez then found Dino. Dino's ball in, and look, if he doesn't take a touch of it, James Margette scores, so there you are. And then the winner in the 86th minute is actually by Villanueva. Jose Maria is a young kid. We picked him up last season from Spain. People may not remember him. People do remember him. He has got 5-star potential. He's playing a lot now off the bench for me because I think he's absolutely incredible. And this is how you win a game when you're a young kid. You take one touch and you pop it into the roof of the net. There you go. So we won that one for a moment of brilliance. And then the brilliance was just like here. Now, they did go down to 10 men. And what that allowed me to do is, in this game, I had a lot like 38% possession, get more possession. But have a look at the expected goal ratio in the shots and the shots on target. So you're converting a lot of these chances. Lastly, look at the match ratings on the park against a side that is a pretty good side. And we did do the business here as well. And like, you know, only 3 bookings too, which is always nice to see. And this was the game that I felt, okay, out of all the games, this is the game we could lose, right? Because they're very good. But we killed them from minute 1 to minute end. Dino, love it. Just the ball movement's really quick. And like, you just... It's like duck, out the other way. Like, if you even rewind this like an extra 10 seconds or so, you know, it's like even further because I remember we winning the ball back like higher up the pitch here. So like, as you can see, they're going and Vincent wins it. One of the few times he started, it was a bigger game, hence why I started him. And straight away, it's like a bit more direction, a bit more direct. You know, it's a bit more, because you're on very attacking, it's like there's real urgency. When you're on positive or attacking, you don't get as much urgency, you feel. Even when you're trying to up the tempo. And like, we're playing on like super, you know, extremely high tempo, much higher tempos. You know, even if you're playing short, you should still get some aggression. Here it's just like, because you're very attacking, which is meant to be used in a way, you know, last minute, go find a goal. But it's just so, look, it's broken, it's an exploit, but it's such a good exploit, it's ridiculous. And hence why I never would have thought of making a tactic with it from minute 1. Hence why I've said, is this cheating? Because I think I'm exploiting by pasting in someone else's tactic. But, you know, I will say, watching these last 5 games has been so much fun because the game is just looking unreal. That, you know, Hernandez gets the ball here, bit of direction, straight in the Kisma, you know, takes a couple touches, already knows what he's going to do. There's James, thank you very much. Like, the ball move is just like... And then, yeah, and then here we are, press again. Like, this is one of those goals that you just like, yeah, whatever. And Admir finishes the youngster off the bench. Still is our hot prospect, by the way, so very happy with that. You then move into Dresden, and I love that this game happened. We didn't play well. We didn't play well at all. This was one of those games where you're like, You know, back when we were playing positive or attacking, we'd be 1-0 up and we'd concede one somewhere. And this is where I was like, why does this tactic do it a little bit different? For whatever reason, we could have scored 4 or 5 in this game. We decided not to. And we actually scored a set piece. But for whatever reason, because it's so super duper aggressive, they never really had an opportunity to really have a clear-cut chance. In the end, Danny Lovett, by the way, has got a goal, 3 assists in 7 games, like a 7.6 or 8 match rating. It's ridiculous. And yeah, because it's so aggressive, it's so nice to watch. And then we just played Bochum. And this is the game that I think is most important to take away, is look at the rotated names. Christopher Zetti, Villanueva, Amity Sis, who the Senegalese lad has actually started to learn how to play centre mid, not natural in there. You know, Brito, Diallo, Lovett started, Andrew Cilia, Casper, the backup keeper, played. You know, all of a sudden you're like, okay, I have a very rotated side after international break, mainly because I didn't want people becoming legless for Bayern in the next few days. But I wanted to see in this tactic, if I rotate against a weaker side, can we win? The amount of times in previous years I've rotated against a weaker side, and because I've rotated, we've lost. Or, you know, Bochum last season, we rotated 1-0 up, dominating the game, conceded 2 goals in 2 minutes, we lose. In a possessive, you know, in a positive or an attacking 4-2-3-1 that you're looking to, you know, you're still looking to go, but you're still looking to keep the ball. Here it was just like, had more possession just anyway, but be aggressive with it. And, like, the aggression is just next level. Like, the centre mids on attack are out of the world on this system. Out of this world. So, obviously, you see Diallo get on it. And, you know, when my previous tactics is when I couldn't break them down in this area, we would play that side to side, which is, I like that, you know, side to side, vertical tiki-taka or horizontal tiki-taka, waiting for the space to play in a guy in the score. Here, it's a little different, right? We win the ball back here. We're a bit lucky. Yeah, one pass out to Diallo doesn't work, right? Hunts it down. They go long. Right? How many times did you go, okay, it's pass. Oh, yeah, slip it in, goal. Here it's just like, all right, how quickly can we move? Defense splitting ball, Villanueva goes, and it's like, right, here comes the ball. 1, 2, bang, just put him into the space. Like, disregard what you need to do. If the space is there to attack, you attack it. Thank you very much. It's 1-0. You're loving that. Was given onside, obviously. All right. Yet again, centre mid's on attack, bombing on. I love them. You know, we get lucky. Sometimes you need a bit of luck, right? And look, Villanueva back stick. You know, crossing's still a thing, obviously. But there you are. And then you're looking at this one here, and we actually, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, scored from a set piece. That doesn't happen for us. We scored a free kick, but when I mean set piece, we actually scored from a corner. Probably differentiate from set pieces and corners, even though they all count on the set pieces. But we actually scored from a corner. This is the second time we scored from a corner this season. Our Cedars actually scored in our very first game in this tactic against Bayer 04, where we drew 2-2 from a corner. But it just highlights that, well, that's a turn of form, and it's the aggression and the ability of how aggressive you can be in this tactic that is monstrous. And it's not just, because you're being aggressive, you're scoring a ton of goals and you're outscoring your opponent. Because you're so aggressive, your opponent cannot build up and break you down, and it's just next level. Like, next level. So, highly recommend. Like, obviously, it's got to load up with a roaming playmaker support. I see why you want it. And it's got to load up an inside forward. I see why you want that too. Because Villanueva or Hernandez sometimes do not get as involved as much being the inverted winger. But I'm doing that for Hernandez to be happy. It is just next level, unbelievable goodness. Now, I am going to do something a little bit special. Instead of ending the episode here, I'm not going to give you a live com. But what I am going to do is we are going to go play Bayern. We're going to come back and review that game there. I'm under no illusion I expect to lose, but if we could go out there and play some sort of football, have moments or something like that, or give them a game, then all of a sudden, this could be the tactic for us. We currently sit 5th after 8 games, after winning 5 straight, not losing our last 6 because of this tactic. And look, you just never know. You might be okay with this system. I'll tell you what, super duper aggressive, super duper fun. I can 100% see why people download and test tactics like this, because it is absolutely mental. Do I still feel icky for downloading and using? Yeah, it's exploiting. But corners, they're so broken, I may as well break the game as well. Welcome back, YouTube. We played Bayern. Well, we played Bayern. And, well, we're top of the table. This tactic is just a little broken. We beat him. We didn't play well, but we didn't play bad. Finson got sent off in the 92nd minute. I don't like where he fouled his man, but, did what he had to do, so you say. I'll show you what I mean there as well. But there we go. William Morales played against me, started and was arguably man of the match. He's playing at a 7.16, starting every game for Bayern at the minute, which is nice, even as a squad player wanted by Real Madrid. Shows you how good he is. Right, and you might be thinking, what about Jeppe Hansen, Damien? What about Jeppe Hansen? Do not worry, do not fear. He came off the bench as well did young Jeppe, and he's actually playing really well to 7.01 after 8 games for Bayern, 4 starts, 4 off the bench. So really nice to see. By the way, speaking about Jeppe, Bayern rejected 35 million from Leicester for him, so it shows you that, yeah, like, he's going to be creme de la creme. We get 40% of Morales, and we get 50% of Jeppe, so huge. In terms of back to this game, the next level we are. We do get lucky. We do get lucky with the first goal, 100%. Sometimes we need a bit of luck. But it's more the fact that we went toe-to-toe without the ball every time on the break. We looked like scoring in this game. In the end, their keeper, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why he's let it run. Don't know why he's gone two-handed. Don't know why he's gone one-handed trying to tap it out for a corner. Don't know. But in the end, Havertz, right, Musiala. But I want to go back to where they win the throw-in. And it's maybe like easy to say that, it's a throw-in, that's why you're pressing in this quadrant really well. But we saw it with the disallowed Marget's goal in the St. Pauli game. We kind of just go man on man where we can. And like Havertz has no time to breathe. And by that stage, Vincent's like, yeah, I'm going in, man. I'm going in for the kill. Going in for the kill, if you know that song by LaRox, I think. LaRox, maybe? I don't know. High school things. But anyway, look, Vincent wins it. And look how quickly it is here. James was coming in to press in here, so they had 4 guys in here, 4 guys. And as soon as he's there, see you later, I'm taking the space on. Villanueva's halving the pitch, so he can't really go back into here. We're just forcing him to play through numbers. It's so good to see. In the end, Amy, 1 ball, finds James Margetts. Mercifully, he actually finishes a 1-on-1. Thank you very much. And then Bayern, with their quality, eventually will get you. And as you can see here, Morales picks the ball up, our former boy. 1 touch, 2 touches, ball to Sane. He's onside, there it is. And while we're here, I'll show you the Vincent red card as well. And this is the one thing is, I played a very attacking this system all the way until this red card, and then went super duper defensive with 10 men to try and just time waste out. Because I wanted to give it its proper, okay, I've played 90 minutes against Bayern, there you go, this is what I've done. And yet again, this is probably where I would say if you're using this tactic and you are playing against Bayern or someone really good and you get late doors, maybe come off it, because we're still trying to hunt down in this press. And this is what can happen. So Vincent, for me, can sometimes be a little bit prone to being in the wrong area. I think in this system he's kind of doing the right thing, but I feel like that's got to be Zeddy's man to Kimmich, and Vincent's got to be back along to block this passing lane. Instead, he's just kind of drifting in no man's land. And now, if you are in a yellow card, you are going to foul him here. Don't foul him where he fouls him as well. Like, he fouls him right on the edge of the box. Like, if you're going to foul him there, you may as well foul him here, yeah? But in the end, we did win. We did beat Bayern. We're currently top of the tree, and I just cannot believe how good this tactic is. Let me know if you think this is exploiting the game or not. Definitely looks like we're exploiting the game, because as soon as we load it up, we haven't lost. But look, all I'm going to say is set pieces are broken, so I might as well go break the game. I'm feeling, the more I've watched this and the more how enjoyable it is to watch them play this sort of football, the less I am feeling that I'm cheating, plagiarising, or whatever I used in the start of this episode. I know a lot of people go on the FM Arena, FM base, and they try different tactics and whatever. I've said it before, and I said it again, usually I create my own. Usually, if I am going to use other people's tactics, I adapt, and I watch so many tactic videos, I take a part of this and a part of that, and morph like my own philosophy, as my parents and my mum and my sister speaking in the background. If that's a bit loud, I apologise. But this is the first time since FM18 making content that I've loaded up just a straight out tactic and used it. Yeah, I've changed 2 roles, but that does not make it your own. And I've mentioned why I've changed those 2 roles plenty of times in this episode. But there you go. In the toughest test in this episode, with this new 6-star, we try a tactic, we're cheating, it's broken. Mate, it definitely is, because we just beat Bayern Munich for the first time in the save. We're top of the tree, and I know this is going to sound wrong, and I know this is going to sound interesting, but do you honestly think we played this system for the rest of the year? Could we win the league with a bunch of kids? I really do, so it'll be interesting to see. Anyway, from Damo and everybody else here, as they're just talking willy-nilly right behind me, I'll see you guys next time. Links down below to come follow me live on Twitch. I'm going to try and get these episodes out as quickly as possible so it's up to date, but I highly recommend the Twitch is where you get to see it live. I might still be running this tactic in 4 or 5 days' time when this episode comes out. Give it a like, go subscribe, and of course, let me know in the comments section if you do download and just use FM tested tactics. Do you create your own? Do you do a little bit of adaptation work like I used to do when I wanted to get an idea of what sort of tactics to do? And do you think that doing this is cheating, or are you just thinking, yeah, it's all good and whatever? Anyway, from Damo and everybody else here, I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.